Shalom, 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 yasha'Allah. This your boy, Brother Shamwa Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. This lesson is going to be called Esau and His Bag of Tricks. Esau and His Bag of Tricks. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and His only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi. All right, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and on the hedges and on the unicorn, which is this internet, pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom to you all as well. All right, this is just a quick lesson, Esau and his bag of tricks. All right, I was watching this video from Drew Almighty, all right, and he's talking about AI, right, and this AI is getting very, very good, all right, and this is just Esau's bag of tricks that he's going to be using to come against the children of Israel, all right. And one of the things I noticed too was a lot of these AI videos, they're towards Jake, they're pushed and they're going towards Jake. All right. So I want to play this video. Fair use. I'm gonna play a couple minutes just so you can see. All right. Salakia.
Look at him. Everyone should be terrified by AI at this point. Come sharking with me, y'all. The ninjas is outside. Ooh, y'all, look at him.
All right. This is AI right here. All right. Which most people, you look at it, just without having to really go into it, you really can't, almost tell the difference at this point. All right. Let me keep playing. Fair use.
What's up? He is so fine, y'all. Hey, where you from? These niggas think this shit like. Last week, AI videos took over timelines on X after this video was posted on a pretty large account without even acknowledging that it was AI at all. And it seems like that.
Right? Did you see that? Now I want you to see, right? There's subtle things, that you see, right? But Esau is getting very good at this technology. Okay. Let's rewind.
Post was removed after they were called out for posting a clearly artificial video. A black woman eating fried account without even acknowledging. Hey, where you from? These niggas think this shit like. Last week, AI videos took over timelines on X after this video.
Now you see, like, she's about to eat this chicken, right? And you see she damn near eats everything, the bone, everything, right? So this is how you kind of can tell. But a lot of it just by the naked eye, you really can't tell, except for a few subtle things. All right. So fair use. Let me keep playing. Right. Watch this. You can see it disappear.
Video was posted on a pretty large account without even acknowledging that it was AI at all. And it seems like that post was removed after they were called out for posting a clearly artificial video. A black woman eating fried chicken, black sin and all. And honestly, when I was scrolling, it almost got me. When I first watched it, I didn't realize it was fake or AI at all. Until she scarfed down the whole entire steaming chicken leg, bone and all. You cut off your friend for missing your birthday dinner, but not the man who...
Look, fair use. All right. So watch, you're going to see. Right here, right? This is how, and you see, like I said, I've been seeing a lot of this stuff, and a lot of it is usually Jake, man. They're coming against Jake, right? You might have some older white Edomite lady who says something crazy to Jake, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of this I see pushing towards the Israelites, right? This technology, man, and how they're getting, so good at it, right? We've already seen the technology where they can basically take another person and then AI generate that person into, like they did it with a basketball game, right? Or even a concert where they They had it was a rapper, I don't know who it was, right? And then they replaced him with like the Joker from Batman, and they put it the same movements that the person was doing. They put it, and this is how good they're getting. Okay, so let me keep playing. Fair use, fair use.
Forgot your birthday?
Right, you see she ate the whole chicken. But
after that video, it seemed like the AI floodgates bursted open, and my timeline was flooded with black AI influencer video.
Like this right here. This is AI too, right? This is how good this stuff is getting. Now just watch, all right? You know, Esau, man, and his bag of tricks, man. All right.
And it's really scary and unsettling because of the implications of what can be done with videos like this, especially in the hands of anyone that has malicious intent against an individual.
Fair use, fair use, fair use. And you see what he's saying, right? You know, this can be used, right? And we know, right? We're not ignorant to Satan's devices, man. All right, we understand, you know, all this stuff, everything that Esau is doing, right, is ultimately to come against the children of Israel. All right, so let's keep playing a little bit, and I'm gonna close it out. Salakia.
Or community in the very near future. But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub.
I genuinely don't know why.
Now, let's get into it.
Wait, because like, why does everybody think I'm AI? That's so.
So they, you know, she's AI acting like she's not AI. All right. Now, if you see her arm that's raised up, you see right there, just look at her shoulder to her arm. All right. Because when they pan over, you're going to see, right? You know, it's just real subtle differences. All right. So let's play it. All right. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Crazy. I genuinely don't know why.
Now you see her arm over here on the right hand side, right? The tattoo is like appearing and disappearing. It's not, you know, so that the AI, right? It's just the subtle things. It's gonna be like her hand movements, like her hand is gonna intertwine into it. Okay, so just keep watching. But fair use, right? And you see, you know, they got all different shades of Jake, right, and Eve. Okay, they got the lingo. Right, and just think about what's going on. I'm gonna keep playing, and I'm gonna kind of commentate on it. So Salakia, fair use, fair use.
Everybody is saying that I'm a human being just like you guys.
The fact that she's not real at all is still crazy to me. And people just scrolling through their phones or lacking critical thinking skills like the average person probably wouldn't pick up on the very small things that give away this video as AI. Like the hand glitch at the beginning or her tattoo changing throughout the video, which again makes this so...
Right, it's real subtle. All right, it's real subtle. But, you know, like I say, if you were just... weren't having to kind of pay attention and really in detail, you would think that this is real. All right. Now remember, you know, Esau has like all these different tactics. So this technology right here, you know, they could definitely, you know, manipulate and set propaganda, you know, on the men of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right. You know, they had, it started when you look at where the AI, not even the AI where it started, but where it's come from just in the last even couple years, where you had the little thing of Will Smith eating the spaghetti. I mean, you know, it just looked crazy, right? Till now, they'll have them eating it and you wouldn't even tell the difference, okay? Like I say, with the girl eating the chicken, you know, if she didn't eat the whole drumstick, right? You probably would have thought that it was real. All right. But the technology is advancing, you know, I mean, quickly. Okay. Fair use, fair use.
Gary. And on top of that, she's refusing to even admit that she's AI, which is super weird.
Hey, Laquifa, looks like your baby daddy ended up at my crib again. You better buy a leash if you don't want him here no more, because he's always running to me. Bye, boo.
AI videos like this.
Right. So you see this stuff, right? I mean, the AI has picked up on your lingo, right? It's certain subtle things like Elder Apostle Gabar, you know, brought out, like, you know, like the emotion and stuff like that. You know, these computers can't really, you know, really do, right? But the voice, you know, I did a lesson, man, maybe a couple years ago, maybe a year or two ago, where you had they used AI to basically create a whole new song with Tupac and Biggie, using their voice, right? And all this stuff is, you see, right? And just think about what's going on. All right, you think about and we'll go to some scriptures, but think about what you have to do. Like with a lot of these applications, it always asks you to, allow, your microphone. It asks you to allow your contacts, right? And it's a lot of, that cookie, that data that it stores, right? It says, please allow cookies so that we can further improve, and, but it's picking up on what? All your data, your usage, like, your voice, like all these different things, right, are being, are being used. All right. So think about it, direct. The more you got the facial recognition, right? So you have facial recognition, you have finger, and people are willingly doing this and putting this into a system, right? And the computer is picking up on it, utilizing it, right? The voice characteristics, everybody posting these videos, these little TikTok things, and, so it's picking up on that, and it's making, like a generic person, right? She's talking about Laquifa or whatever her name was, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But this, and then literally saying, she's not AI. And if you didn't have that eye, you wouldn't be able to, you couldn't tell, right? You would think that she was, it was a real person, Like you said, it's those subtle little things that you see. So Esau, man, is getting very, very, good at, with his bag of tricks and his technology. All right. Now I just want to get a couple of scriptures, right? This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. It says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." Okay. And we see it, the knowledge has, especially with the unicorn, man, the internet, man, has vastly increased the technology and the things that where we're at right now. All right. I mean, you can go in, from now they have the, just the regular basic searches. Now you have the chat GPT, and me and the brothers, we was talking about it because one of the brothers had it, and he was asking it a question. He asked, I forgot the question that he asked, and the response was, well, it was something to the point of we, like the AI was saying we, like he was part, like the AI was part of us. I'm like, hold on, did it just say we, right? And this is how, like, it's imposing itself into, that person or whatever, right? And all the data and the different things that it's collecting, right? You just understand they're using all this technology, right, to ultimately come against, the men of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, ultimately. All right. So when you see these things, okay, but it says, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Okay, and we see this increase in knowledge, right? Technology is increasing day by day. All right, it's getting quicker. It's getting quicker and quicker. It's getting more advanced, right? Day after day. All right, it just continues. All right, it's continuing to improve. All right, when you just think about it from, and like I say, I just put it back from, they had the little AI video of Will Smith eating the spaghetti until now. All right, now they can, create whole new people, right, and have them doing whatever. Okay, this is what we see what's going on. All right, with that knowledge increasing. Okay, and the scriptures show us that so 2 Corinthians 2 and verse number 11. Slacky, I went to Philippians. I don't know, I've been doing that lately. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse number 11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." Okay, and this is why it's it's good and important to kind of stay update, to constantly be watching, because this devil has all types of tricks up his sleeve. All right, you know, when they want to come and persecute the men of Yahawah Yahawashi, right? They have this technology that they can use. They have this different things, and they're getting so advanced out of it. You know, they can have you and implement you, have you doing all types of stuff, man. All right. You know, it was reminding me of and I can't, and the brother can help me out. You know, I'm not sure if it was the Running Man, or if it was either Running Man or, dang, what was the other one? This is an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, right? And what happened was there was a video, which was a fake video of him doing something, right? And it caused him to be arrested and different stuff or whatever. And he was trying to get the tapes back, you know, that had it, because he was trying to get the real tape of what really happened. But what they did was, like, they superimposed somebody else, or they made the scenario look different, you know, using technology. They changed it so it looked like he had, like, I believe it was like he had deleted all, like, a lot of these people. But ultimately what happened was he got orders and he said that he wasn't going to do it, and then somebody else did it. But the way they did the video, they showed like he did it, you know. So Esau's been showing this, you know, he's been showing this in his movies and his different things, you know, for a while. All right. And, you know, with this knowledge being increased, you're right, we can't be ignorant to his devices and see that what he's doing, because he's all this stuff is leading, all right, ultimately to we understand the digital, man. All right, that physical thing, which is the RFID chip, okay, and ultimately the control, right? Because Esau ultimately wants full control over everything. All right, what is that? Isaiah.14 Isaiah.14 and verse number 13, it says, "For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." Right? That's their whole ultimate plan, is to be like the Most High. All right? They're trying to be, all right, the Most High in all these ways. And you see that's how, but we understand that Esau, he uses what? That left-handed technology, all right, which ultimately was given by Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, all right, but that left-handed technology that he's using, right? So how does he create? You know, he can't, you know, he's tries to, you know, create these humans. So he'll do them like, you know, embryos in a lab. Right now, what does he do? He tries to, you know, make robots. All right. He's doing all these different things. Right. He's got the camera systems. Right. So he can see and watch everything that's going on 24/7. Right. He ultimately wants that full power. He wants to be like the Most High. All right. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians, right? 2. Right. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, it says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first." All right. And that falling away was Israel, right? Falling away, right? That's 70 AD. You know, even to now, some of our people have just are totally lost in the sauce. All right. It says, "Except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition," right? Talking about Esau, right? Starting with those top banking families on down. All right. Just revealing who the wicked is. All right. You know, and we see it now, right now, how the earth is, you know, given into the hand of the wicked. Okay. It is, you know, by the things that are being done, people see, you know, who the wicked is, and he's being revealed. He can't hide himself. All right. He can't hide himself in the things that he's doing. All right. It says, "Who opposeth himself and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High, right? And that's what he wants to do, right? So he's painted the picture, the likeness, of himself, right? With the pale skin, the blonde hair and the blue eyes, right? And it's saying, oh, I'm him, I'm the Most High, I'm this, right? That's what's going on. Okay. All right. This devil, he wants the full power. He wants to, ultimately to be the Most High, but he can only do it through the physical, which is technology, right? He wants to have all power, all control over people. So what is he going to do? Implement, right, that RFID chip, okay? So that he can control, he can know your whereabouts, know everything about you, all right, through what? His technology, all right? Let's jump down. It says, verse 8, it says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom Yahawah, Bahasham shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders. Okay? And, how does he do it? Through his technology, man. All right? You just think about just the different things that Esau has going on. I before I even came in, the truth, it's just things used to be what used to get me, Salaki. Jake got to act a fool. But you have, think about the television, man, right? You got a television where you can literally watch, live, feed of things happening, through a little box. And you see how the box is just getting thinner and thinner, right? Like when you think about that, right? If somebody just didn't know what was going on and they would come into people's houses and they just see people staring at this wall of a box on the wall, man, like that's crazy, right? Or these phones. Think about these phones, right? People are, someone come and wouldn't know what's going on and they see all these people on these little sliver of phones watching TV, talking to people, talking to each other, this all this little left hand, type of sorcery, man, on the left hand side, you just think about it. All right. So it says with all power, signs, and lying wonders, man. All right. He's using his technology. He's going to use his technology, all right, to come down on the children of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right. And we know ultimately, he's going to be like a madman, like the scriptures say. All right. 2nd Ezra 16 and verse number 70. Right. Let's see. Let's start at verse 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. All right. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot, right? Because you're going to have a lot of people who are going to be taking this MOTB, all right? Because they're going to use those lying wonders, this technology, right? And deceive a lot of people, right? If you don't take this, you won't live. You're not going to, if you don't take this, you're not going to be able to do this or do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that whole thing, man. It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, right? Who fears Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi? Ultimately, it's the Israelites, all right? You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And you have the diaspora who look like these nations, but your lineage goes back to Jacob. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, right? This devil's going to be, false accusing, and he's going to try, everything. He's going to use his technology to try to come against this truth, all right? Because ultimately, Esau wants to keep his, he wants to keep his rulership going, right? And this truth is hurting him, right? And he understands, all right? And this is why you see this knowledge and this stuff increasing. All right. Remember, Yahawah said, if the days weren't shortened for the elect's sake. All right. But ultimately, too, this devil knows that he has a short time. Right. Let's get that. Right. So he's going to do everything and all that he can. All right. He's working overtime. The technology is doubling and increasing. All right. At a fast rate. OK, because this devil's going to use all tactics. All right. To try to come against those who oppose to his new world order. All right. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." All right. So this devil knows he has a short time. Right. So and with that, he's constantly improving this technology and doing this different things. I remember me and one of the brothers was talking about it yesterday, how, it's increasing rapidly, but ultimately Esau has been planning this for a long time. And he's slowly putting it out. Right. And slowly putting out these different things because, ultimately, he wants that agenda, right, to have that full control, which will be that micro C-hip or Revelation 13, 16, and 17. All right. So ultimately, he's continuing to push that agenda. All right. And this AI is just another example. Like I say, you can just go on YouTube and you can see it, man. It's all types of, and the ones I've been seeing, is just, it's always Jake or Eve, and then they have, they might have some Edomite lady say something crazy to them or whatever, and these different things, right? But the technology is getting so good that it's almost hard to spot. You have to kind of watch it with detail and with attention, because otherwise this stuff can go past it, right? And just think about it. They control the media. So what do you think, right? What's it to, use some AI to have some stuff happening and have stuff going down, and try to fooling a lot of people. Okay. So you can't be ignorant of this devil's devices and understand that he has a short time and this knowledge is increasing in these last days. Okay, so continue to be watched, to watch, and be sober. All right, be vigilant, right? Because let me get that real quick. 1 Peter, is it 3 or is it 5? 1 Peter 5 and 8. All right. It says, "Be sober and be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." Right. It says, "Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world." All right. But the point I wanted is, to be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. All right. And he has all types of tricks up his sleeve. All right. He has all types of tricks up his sleeve. All right. To come down and persecute. All right. Jake, man. All right. So I just wanted to do this quick lesson. Like I say, Lord's will, this is edifying. Right. But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, call Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad. A mighty shalom to the 144,000 men. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, who have ruled well to the spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days. Another mighty shalom to the rest of the elect out there. Stay diligent, stay focused, keep praying for one another, keep watching. All right. And understand, man, this devil has, a whole slew of tricks and sorcery that he's going to be using. All right. And this is why you need to stay girded up and keep Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash on your mind, right? And constantly. All right. So with that, say a ball, shalom.